Okay, we're ready. Here we go. Hi, Hi everybody. I'm texting to see if you can hear me or not. So if you can let me know if you can hear me. Hi. Okay, there's a delay, so I have to get used to the delay. Oh, great. Thank you. Thank you, Pamela. There's a delay here, so I have to get used to the delay. When I look at myself, and it's about a 20-second delay, I would say, maybe a 30-second delay. So if I jump ahead, that's why. But thanks for joining, you guys. Yay, thank you. Okay, so what I have here, I'm going to zoom out a little bit. Whoops. You can kind of see my setup. I've got my iPad here with the photo on it, and I'm not using the grid method or anything. I just traced. So I have this cool, and I left this on so you could see it. I already traced it, but I wanted you to see what I did. So I'm using, and I'm checking in with the text messages or the chats. So if something's going on, you just let me know. I'm just going to kind of keep checking it every couple minutes. So I'm using pastel mat. It's this pastel mat is 7 by 9.5 inches, and it's white. So that is what I'm using for my paper. And then what I did is I discovered this really cool transfer paper. So I got a sampler, and you just get it on Amazon. That's kind of the only place I could find it, especially the sampler. So it has different colors in it. And I don't know if you saw, I did the hibiscus with this red one, and then there's blue, and then there's like a regular graphite, and there's even white. So if you do black paper, you could trace with white tracing paper. So I have the yellow tracing paper under here, and I printed out about the size that I wanted. It was kind of tough to print out this size because it's like a European size, you know, so I had to reset it, whatever, my printer. But so I printed out this size. I got it to where I wanted for this paper, and then I just traced over it with my stylus tool. So I was pretty much just doing this, right? And I just did kind of the minimal. I'm not really doing too much. So I get the whole outline. And so I get kind of, you know, so we can tell at least it's a pumpkin. So then what I do is I keep it taped, and then I'll zoom in here a little bit. You can see better. So there it is. I actually used the thicker part of the stylus tool so I could get really thick lines. Now, I know the pumpkin is white, and you're probably going, what? Wait, the pumpkin is white. The stem is yellow, so that's kind of cool. It worked out. But this tracing paper actually erases really easily. So what I usually do is after I go kind of heavy on the trace, and then I can use my my rubber or my putty eraser and just blot it. So I can see it. The camera isn't picking it up, but it's super light. So what I'm probably going to do is on the edges of the pumpkin, there's like a pinkish white hue. So I'm gonna blot the yellow just to where I can see it, but you're not gonna really see it on the video. And then I'm gonna go over it with probably something a little darker, actually, my raw umber poly. Maybe I'll do, actually, I think I'll do I think I'll find that salmon color from Polychromos, because it's real pinky, this pumpkin. This white pumpkin's got a lot of pink in it. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to take this off now. I just left it on so I could show you. It's taped on, so I'm just going to take it off. Voila, and we can start drawing and have our draw along. Yay! Oh, great. Thanks, Pam. It's available at Blix. Okay. All right, great. Good. Okay, I know the yellow isn't the best to see right now, but give me a sec. I think actually I will use this raw umber to trade, just because the camera will pick it up better. If I go pink, I'm afraid it won't really see it very well. So what I'm going to do now is just go over the yellow with this. I'm going to fill in the white of the pumpkin. I'm going to get the base layers for the gourd, which is yellow pretty much. Then I thought it would be fun to do some of these blurry berries, probably using odorless mineral spirits. Get a little bit of the wood in too. So I'll just start drawing in here, and I can kind of tell you my plan. So that's kind of another thing. Oh, I have to get, well, I don't want to take time, but usually, hang on 1 second. I like to get glycine paper under my hand for drawing. Glycine paper, so if you don't have oils, just to make sure you don't get oil from your hand onto the paper, I have a little glycine paper, and actually this is in between the pastel matte cards, the paper, the pastel matte, but you can also buy glycine online, a roll, which is what I do too. And I use a lot of hand lotion, so even though I wash my hands before I draw anyway, so I don't have any oils, I always just feel more comfortable with the paper underneath. Okay, so let's do our draw along. Again, like I said, I'm going to just do, here I don't mind if it's yellow, because there's a little yellow in there. And this is pastel matte paper, so it's got a little roughness to it, a little tooth. You might be able to hear my birds in the background. I have finches, and they're chirpy-wirpy today. Especially when the sun's out and the sun's on them, they're really happy. So if that's what you hear, it's nothing to do with the video or sound. You can see how pastel matte, let me zoom in a little bit. There you go. Kind of has a little gritty texture here. And because it's pretty light in the mid of that stem, I'm using I'm going to get my base layer here, cream, in there before I get it too dark. And I'm pressing really light. I'm pressing very light. My pencil is at an almost flat to almost horizontal to the paper, which is how you want it when you press lightly, you know, when you're doing a light application. And then I twist. As I draw, I'm twisting the pencil, then that really helps keep it sharp too. So you don't have to sharpen it as much. And pastel matte is great. I mean, look at already how it just blended the kind of roughness away. Oh, there we go. Now we have our base layer. And let me see if this pink shows up on camera. This is the, I love this color, Pink White by Caran d'Ache, or Luminance. Oh my gosh, this is such a beautiful color. And this is pretty much the color of the pumpkin. I want to just see if it comes up on, oops, I want to see if it comes up on camera. so pretty. Now, white on white is difficult, right? But when you look at something, and here I come, I'm going to talk about values. When you look at something, it's never as white as you think it is. So here's your value scale, and if you've been taking my course, you know I talk about values a lot. Here's the photo. So here's white, the value 10, white. That is definitely not white, right? It's not white at all. I mean, there's little traces of white, but you know what? It's like blue white, gray white. And then there's a lot of pink in there, like I said, you know, the background, right? Whatever this background is, it's picking up this pink from the background and probably some of the greens and the oranges. So this pumpkin, you know, has a lot of colors in it, but if you look, it's not really white, but our paper, the paper is pretty white. So we've got a lot of blues, pinks, as I said. I definitely see orange. You know, this is kind of will be a fun thing to do, this reflection of that gourd. And then we have the shadows in here, which are, let's see, what value are those shadows? So that looks like a value 4. Yeah, like a value 4 for the shadows. So that's pretty dark compared to value 10, which is white, right? So that's how you do white on white, is your white subject, even if it looks, you know, really bright white, you know, pet or something, white fur, it's not white. It's a lot of grays, it's a lot of pinks. And you always want to kind of look at the environment around it to see what it's reflecting on. So I'm going to try not to talk too much, and I'll move on here. I'm trying to make this brighter for you guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, there. See if that works. Can somebody tell me if they can see the pink showing up on this white on the camera? Unfortunately, the clouds just came over, and I'm right by a window. So I'm just going to cover this with pink quickly. Here we go. And this stem actually has some nice pink, a hue to it. So I'm going to throw a little pink in there. No pink. Okay, you don't see the pink. It's like a really light pink. It's a beautiful color. So I'm going to go very quickly. And that's kind of another reason why I'm using pastel matte, is because you can get your layers on fast because it has a little bit of texture. So I'm just going to get this on, and we'll move on to I chose this color earlier. This is Platinum from Derwent Lightfast. And this is what the colors that I saw, like the grayish, bluish colors. Now I'm going to now you should see this. I'm going to be doing the outline of the indentations. I don't know what else to call them, the little indentations in there. So basically I'm going after that level 4 value. Okay. Here we go. And then I've got this one. And I can barely see my yellow lines, just enough. And then this one goes like that, the back, and this goes like that. How many of you are actually following along? I would love to know. Okay, now this goes like this. Like, cuts right in there. Then I've got the really dark, I'm gonna get my brown here. This is a kind of the shadow. And I like to put in, you know, my darker values like this, where I know is really dark, it's almost black. It's just a great reference. Don't be afraid to give yourself some guidance, especially with your first layers. And like I said, this is really dark in here, and this is autumn brown. It's a beautiful color, by the way. It has like a little reddish brown, and so it's perfect for the wood. So now the wood, it turns up, and that's why I did a few lines of the wood, because it's not straight like this. Yeah, let me make sure you can see. It's not straight like this. It's got these curves in it, and that is, you know, beautiful for a visual to see the depth. I think the wood is curved or something, but I really want to capture that. I don't want to lose that. So I'm getting my darker values in right now, and then I'm going to do the lighter color over it to blend it. But that kind of gives me a guidance. Really, I'm just getting my lines in right now in my guides, my visual guides. So I'm really looking, I'm not looking at the pumpkin right now, I'm looking at the wood. My eyes are looking at the wood, and I'm getting my shadows in under the pumpkin now. And that gives me the outline of the pumpkin, right? It's kind of called negative, what is it? Negative drawing, there we go. Good. So let's see if anybody, okay, watching along. Okay, what other can we use in place of, Teresa, what other can we use in place of? What other color, probably? What color are you thinking? Yeah, type that again. It didn't come through all the way. I'm going to do the gourd. I'm going to get the outline of the gourd right now, and I'm going to use the lighter color green that's in the gourd. Polychromos Earth Green Yellowish. Love that name. And this is, I mean, besides yellow or like a really light, bright, you know, for the highlight, this is pretty much the lightest green color in there. So I'm going to do the outline in green and then go do the base color with yellow in the gourd. Okay, and the great thing about the iPad is I'm zooming right in. I just zoomed right in, so I got a lot of details here. And again, this is another dark shadow here, so I can actually just go over that one with brown. And then here's a line of the indentation. And back here in the gourd, it's almost black. That's like a purpley black, so that will be fun to do. There's that Derwent Lightfast color. that's like a purpley black. I always want to say it's Moon Glow. It's not Moon Glow. Nightshade. Oh my gosh, that color's beautiful. And there we go. So I got the main part of the pumpkin. I really want that curve in there. You know, you don't want it straight down. So that's a kind of a nice thing about tracing is like, ooh, I got that curve, really nice. And it gives it that effect of a nice curved pumpkin, not flat, right? Because that's hard to do, is to get these dimensions right. So that's kind of the nice thing about tracing. Oh, what other can we use in place of the Derwent? The Derwent brown, I think I use, autumn brown. Oh gosh, any brown, because maybe your burnt sienna, that's like usually a dark brown, or burnt umber, sorry. Really anything, because I'm gonna eventually be putting black over this area. So we're just kind of getting the outline. So let me do my, let me see, I think I have it right here. Yeah, burnt umber, polychromos. Let's do burnt umber for the pumpkin shadow here. So I'm kind of doing the same thing that I did with the other pumpkin shadow. And I'm going, let me see, the wood actually goes this way. So I'm gonna draw, and I can see my yellow marks. So see, I started to draw that way, and that's wrong, see? So you gotta catch yourself. The wood actually is going this way, and I started to draw this way, just, you know, whatever, out of habit. So that's a good little lesson there, because that will throw off your drawing if you have, you know, lines going this way and then lines going this way. And just be careful of that. Something that you don't have to go back and fix. So see, I can see my yellow lines that I did, they go this way. The wood, lines in the wood are going this way. So I'm just gonna draw my lines like that. And then the shadow goes to about here. I'm not drawing in that leaf that's right there. That's a great thing about being artists. If we don't like something, it's gone, right? And then the shadow is at, yeah. So what I'm doing is I'm looking at the picture, just like you see the masters do. I got one eye closed. I'm looking at my iPad, and the angle of the shadow is like that on my iPad. So now I'm taking it and okay, it's like that on my drawing. So there. So now I got that angle of the shadow, and then it just kind of fades out. So here's the angle the shadow is going at. It's like there. So it's about right here. The angle I'm talking about is right here. It's like really thin here, and then it gets wide. Thin, wide. And then it goes right up under the pumpkin. Okay. There we go. Now I'm going to be doing, you know, black, purples over this. So I want to know where the pumpkin ends here. And there's also, I mean, there's a lot of shadow on the pumpkin, so we'll deal with that later. Okay, so that was in place of the Derwent Autumn Brown. Just keep using that. Okay, now let's see. Let's stick with the gourd. and get, right, I was going to get my yellow base color on the gourd. I'm going to go kind of with a bright, this is light chrome yellow, and I want a bright color for a base coat so it will come through when I put the green over it so it doesn't get dull. Yeah, you gotta love pastel matte. Boy, it really layers. Okay, I probably put too much yellow there. I'll stick to over here. But doesn't matter. It's a gourd, it's a pumpkin. We can make yellow or put more green wherever we want to, right? That's the whole idea. That's the whole idea. Okay. So I don't know how much of the window you can see of me, or like behind or next to me, but one time I was doing a live stream and my husband, he starts doing yard work. He wasn't being noisy or anything, but he's just like walking around picking up the leaves. I'm like, oh my gosh. He's walking back and forth. He had no idea I was doing a live stream. So you never know what you're gonna get out there. We have a puppy, and I just saw him walking back and forth with the puppy, taking her out front and stuff. And because he knows I'm doing a live stream today, so I was like, okay, you're on duty with the puppy. So I think he might have taken her to the store, or maybe even Home Depot, just to get her out and see people. But so you might, if you see in the window out there, keep your eyes open for a cute little puppy running around. Okay, now I'm just getting the greens. I'm getting this mid-tone. So this green is that earth green yellowish. Let's call this like the mid-tone green, right? You know how we had that mid-tone gray on the white? This is our mid-tone green because the other greens in here are really dark. So they're like a, 2 or 1. They're almost black, but it's cool. They're purpley. It kind of looks like an eggplant purple. I'm really just getting in these mid-tone base colors, and when I do the odorless mineral spirits, they'll blend together really nicely. And I don't want it too perfect, because it's all these rough edges and different, almost like tie-dye. It almost looks like tie-dye, so I kind of want that. I don't want it perfect or fine hard edges. But I do want the values. I want the contrast. So that's what I'm going to go for. So with colored pencil, you really need to plan ahead with your light colors and your dark colors so you can get that really cool contrast. That's kind of why I chose this photo, because we have the white and then we have the fun colors in the gourd. And I'm going to put a little yellow here at the stem. Oh, we have a squirrel and the duck now. Okay, not the puppy. And I need to find, I don't want to lose my edge here. This is permanent green. I'm going to do, only because I have it really sharp, I'm doing burnt sienna. I'm kind of losing my edge of the stem, so I'm going to do a little burnt sienna here because it's got like a weird, this stem here is cut off. I don't know, I might just forget about that part. It looks like there was 2 stems maybe and one got cut off. I might ixnay that, if that's a word. I might just forget that part and just do like the full stem right here. I think I'm gonna do that. It looks kind of weird. So I'm being just wherever I'm putting the brown. I mean, not wherever, but I'm not being, again, too particular. I don't want to lose my line here and my curve here. I did the yellow again because there's like a really neat curve like that. And that really makes it visually interesting when you have these neat curvy lines. So I'm getting those in so I don't lose that there. Like I'm tracing right over my, well, I'm drawing right over my traced line. And then it gets pretty thick right here actually. And it goes up. And over, and then it kind of dips down a little bit. It's really pretty. Like wavy. I guess when they grow, I grew pumpkins and squash, and their stems, boy, they get long and curly. So when they dry, they look kind of cool. Now this is really dark underneath, so I'm not worried about that. I'm actually going over it. And then I went really light here because it does get light right there. And now I'm gonna fill it in with that pink white. Actually, I did that pinky white because I don't want it to get too dark. So I'm kind of coating it with a pinky white, the Caran d'Ache pink white. Okay, so now we have our outlines. Does anybody have any questions? It's hard to see if, you don't really need to see me, but I have the time in the window where I have myself, so there we go. Okay, I think I'm okay. Yeah, if anybody has any questions, just let me know. I'm gonna do a couple more layers on of the green and the white, and then I'll be using the OMS. I think I'm gonna go in with raw umber. Because I did that pink, so now I can get a little bit more detail in here. And it looks kind of messy now, but again, I'm going to go over it with odorless mineral spirits and smooth everything out. Okay. Is anybody doing anything for Halloween, or did anybody do anything last night? Oops. Well, this is Derwent Mountain Green. It's not sharp, but I'm gonna just do a touch, and any green will do. There's like a touch of green right in there. I wanna just kind of pick up. I want more as a base coat, so I can go over it with the lighter ones. And then let me find another, let me see, I can't quite get, looking for a pinker color. Let's see. And then I always have a little card, paper next to me that I can try out colors on. This is beige red polychromos, and this you should be able to see on camera. All the edges. I'm basically doing like a grayish pink colors that I'm trying to grab and I'm trying to get. And you notice I'm working on the shadows of the indentations. I'm not going to do anything in here till the very last bit. I'll probably just blend in there with my odorless mineral spirits. But I'm darkening up the values first, working more on the darker areas and getting those in, because when your darker areas, your values are in, then your lighter areas always look lighter anyway. So blending these two together, we'll see what happens. This area right here has a really nice pink highlight, pink hue to it. So I'm going to do a little extra pink right here. Maybe in here. Then over here, this actually goes up. There we go. Kind of similar what we did with the other stem is I'm gonna just get that outline in so I don't lose it, and I have a better idea where it's at. I don't cover it up. There we go. And then this is a really dark shadow right here, so I'm gonna let's put that dark shadow in there. And right in here is pretty dark. It's got a nice dark crease shadow in there, and then it goes down and lightens up into that gray, bluish gray color. Now if you guys have this on your screen or your iPad, it's good to zoom in so you can see what I'm talking about. I know I have it on the screen, but it's hard to tell. So if you downloaded it, it'd be great if you zoom in on it so you could see what I'm talking about. Now I'm getting, see how I started really light, and now I'm just working up the values, going a little darker every time, a little darker every time. And then getting that gray, blue-gray right next to it. This is Platinum, Platinum by Derwent Lightfast. And you also want to remember where the light is hitting it. So the light is coming, it looks like it's hitting right here. So that means the shadows are going to be that way. So that's why these in here are pretty dark. Now this shadow under here, this guy, is red because the stem, color of the stem is bouncing off of it. So there's this really neat orangey red shadow right here. And if you zoom in, this is something that you definitely want to kind of do in advance so you can preserve the white. And it goes like right about here. There we go. So what I'm doing is, here's Polychromos white, and because it's nice and sharp, I'm keeping that white under that stem. It's almost like a little white glow. And then that shadow right here, I'm gonna blend that. I'm pressing really lightly. Now I'm pressing a little harder. I'm gonna blend this shadow right here into the white, and it'll look like the shadow of the stem. So that's kind of how you have to plan in advance for this, you know, for the shadows and this kind of thing. Well, you really have to zoom in and look at your photo. So let's use the Polychromos and see if we can blend that a little bit on the edge. Not really pressing very much. yeah, when it's a little blended with the OMS, it'll look really nice. And if you don't like to blend with OMS, you can always blend with your white pencil, with like a waxy white pencil, maybe your Caran d'Ache, or you could use watercolor pencils. I'll be doing a live stream on watercolor pencils. For base coats, oh, you know what? I just realized I didn't plug in my computer. Hang on, my battery died. Oops. Here we go. I had it ready to plug in, but I never plugged it in. Okay, sorry about that. There we go. We're plugged in. Whoops. Something happened with the... There we go. It's figuring me out. Okay. So, yeah, we got juice. Okay, let's go back. Now we have the white, some more values on the white. It's looking pretty good. I'm going to do just a little more in here. I'm pressing really light. You really don't have to press hard with this pastel matte. Oh yeah, I wanted to get that cool orange shadow. So the orange shadow, orangey yellow shadow. We should maybe do the yellow part first. Let's see, it's about right here. Just a little yellow hue, and then go in with a touch of orange, and that's gonna be the reflection of the gourd. And there's actually just a touch of orange up in here from the reflection. So we'll just leave it like that. Maybe a little bit more in here. Okay. And I'm going pretty fast. I'm trying not to have a dull moment here. I pulled out, oh, yellow ochre. Is this the one I liked? Yeah. Okay. Pulled out yellow ochre from Derwent Lightfast just to see how that looked for the yellow of the gourd. Kind of the, maybe one up from the mid-tones. Let's just see what that looks like. It's a little dull. Yeah, you know what? I'm not really crazy about it. It's not bright enough. I don't know why I pulled that one. Let's go with... Okay, I've got it. So, where'd it go? Naples yellow. Naples yellow, polychromos. Let's get that one. Sorry, I have to sharpen it. Using the Derwent sharpener, I love it. The crank one. Let's get a nice saturation of yellow here. And I do have a highlight that I didn't really mark. I probably should kind of remember. It's in here. You know what I can do? I can use the eraser. Here's a good learning lesson for you guys. I have the electric eraser, and I forgot to mark out the white, leave white of the paper for the highlight. So I am going to do that now, and it's about right here. There. Did you see that? Let me zoom in. I'm going to just take a brush and brush it off. I don't need a lot. This green, once I go over white with this green, I may never come back from it. So I kind of want this green off. There. So I want some nice highlights right there. And there's some over here. I saved that one. Whoops. I saved that one. Let me do... This one's like a white purpley highlight. Okay, so that's good. Now I can go nice and dark with my Naples yellow, and I'm going to go around these highlights. So, see how there. And I'll do the dark green up there. Now I'm pressing pretty hard. I'm getting my line in here. And I'm bringing it down to my shadow down here. Anybody have any questions or anything? Are y'all still with me? Just watching? Okay. If you have any questions about projects that you're currently doing, we don't have to talk about this one. You can ask me in the chat. Or questions about any supplies or, you know, good place to get supplies. Hobby Lobby, I don't know if you guys know about Hobby Lobby. They don't have their 40% off anymore. I used to get a lot of my supplies at Hobby Lobby, and they stopped doing the 40% off coupon. I used to work on watercolor paper a lot. The not the aquarelle, I can't think of it right now, but in Hobby Lobby would have the sheets, and I always used the 40% off coupon to get sheets there. But I think they're kind of getting more into like a home store, home goods supply store now. Okay, so now let's get the dark colors in there. Let's do the fun stuff. I'm going to, what's this green? I'm looking for a polychromos color. So you guys, okay, so this is pine green, pine green. I'm gonna get it real sharp. Okay, weapon sharp, weapon sharp. And we're gonna go, here we are gonna get some detail now around the edges. And it's really dark, so I'm gonna I'm pressing pretty hard. I'm following my line. There we go. Giving some dimension here, getting some depth. This actually turns real orangey here. See what happens when we add orange. Get orange down here. Very cool. You kind of have to just experiment as you go and see how the colors play well, see if they play well together. And I'm doing little circles. It's called scrumbling. Little circles, because that gives like it gives it the roughness of the kind of the texture looking of the gourd. And I can still see, you know, vaguely, I can still see my lines for the little indentation, so I'll go a little deeper there so I don't lose them as I go. Because again, this area is going to be almost black. I mean, it's like a purpley black, but like I said earlier, eggplant. So I'm not really afraid of going pretty dark with this green. Up here, I actually want to get the color on there. Now I'm going to go with my vid value green and blend down, because it seems like the colors are kind of spreading down, right? I'm going over that highlight. I'm not covering that highlight. Not just yet, just a little bit. And I don't know if you can hear it, but I'm pressing harder so you can maybe hear the little bit of the scraping. And I get my green over here. And there's kind of a cool little orange sticking out right there that's kind of nice on the edge. And that gives it a little depth as well, to have a little light on the end there. There we go. And I'm saving a little area there for a highlight. And that's all going to be really dark. Okay, I'm saving a little area there for a highlight. Now you can see I'm blending now with my chrome yellow, with my lighter color. I'm just blending all the greens, because it is a little blurry down in this area. And when an area is blurry, the eye is going to be drawn to a more focused area that's in focus. So you always want to make the area that you want the viewer to focus on most. You want that area in detail. So like if you're doing a pet portrait, I always make the eyes in focus. I always like to have the eyes and the nose in super, super fine detail. So they're in focus. They are as much focus as I can get from, you know, the reference photo that I have to use, or that I get. You know, luckily I'll get a decent reference photo with really in focus eyes. But if not, sometimes you gotta just kind of, you know, use another subject to get some detail in the eye areas. Okay, that's enough green. I'm gonna go and get that, my Derwent the purple, where is it? Sorry, hang on a minute. I'm trying to find my nightshade. Derwent Nightshade is amazing. It might actually be too purpley, so maybe we'll go with a little blue. How about this? Blue violet. I'm gonna stick with the green forest. Okay, I'm gonna stick with forest Not quite ready. It's a pretty dark green. So now I'm going to get this in here, and then after this, I'm gonna do the odorless mineral spirit. So hang on for 1 minute. Then when I'm done with this, I'm gonna do like a bluish green over to get that super dark area. So you can see how many layers it takes. It's definitely a meditative medium, right? I think us as colored pencil artists, we do it for relaxing and meditating. And hey, Karen, how are you? Yay, Karen's here. I'm glad you made it. Yeah, we're just doing this pumpkin. I'm gonna do, I'm trying to get these values in here as fast as I can for you guys. But yeah, I think we're into colored pencils because it's relaxing and meditative, right? So I feel like I'm going against the grain, literally, when I'm rushing. When I rush. Feels odd. Okay, so since I'm not doing that weird, whatever, stump, I guess, here, I'm gonna fill in the back just with a little bit of green. Maybe we'll go a little higher. We're kind of making our own there. And I'm gonna keep it dark just so it doesn't stick out or anything. Yeah, the gourd, yes, I am. I'm trying to get the greens in and the dark, and then because I want to use the OMS on these dark areas first, and then I'm going to go over with the light, with the really bright orange at the end. Like I'm probably going to use dark cadmium orange, and then there's the cadmium yellow is really bright. So yes, I'm gonna capture that really bright color, but I want to get these dark colors in, because when these dark colors are in, then the bright colors are gonna look even brighter. That's kind of the cool thing about it. So let me just get these in real quick, and then I will do the OMS. And then while that dries, on this one, I'm gonna do a couple layers on the white. And, okay, let me just do the OMS now. Oh, the membership tutorials on Saturday morning. I'm not really sure. Oh, my camera's falling, sorry. I'm not really sure. I think it's a good time. Maybe like Tuesday afternoons would be good. That's always kind of a popular time as well, like kind of a more evening. I think I'm gonna maybe do like a little survey, or try 2 or 3 times and see who, or maybe just do switch it up every week, so some people that can't make it Saturday mornings, they could maybe make the Tuesday night one. But I'm open for feedback. I would love to hear feedback, what you would like, Karen. Pamela, I've never used OMS, so you threw out just the end. So I use it throughout. No, I use it. So I usually do OMS, odorless mineral spirits, twice. Usually about twice. This is what I'm using, Gamsol, and I put it in a little cup. I usually have a container that I close, so I close it after I pour it. I use it, I close it. Yeah, even though it's odorless, you shouldn't be breathing it in, but I can't find my container, and I was in a rush. So then I'll get paper towel. Tuesday is okay? Yeah. So then I'll get paper towel, and I like it's almost like a cloth paper towel. It doesn't have a lot of hairs, you know, or fibers. So that's always the best type of paper towel. Even when you're using watercolors, you want that kind of the fancy paper towels. I only use it for my artwork. I use the cheap stuff in the kitchen. So I dipped my brush in, right? Here, I dipped my brush in. Okay, I got it pretty wet. Then I blot it just a little bit. And I covered it with my paper towel. So I have the OMS covered. Now I'm zooming in here so you can see it. Now, my brush is pretty wet with the odorless mineral spirits, which is okay because I have a lot going on right here. And it's gonna get a lot on there fast. So I'm gonna move kind of fast. It just turns into a painting basically. There we go. And I'm trying to kind of keep the strokes curved with the pumpkin. I really want that direction because that's what's going to give it the real look between the dark colors, the light colors, and that curvature of the pumpkin. And now I'm just now I turn over the brush and I'm just kind of making trying to go the same. And I'm staying in the green. I'm not going to blend the orange or the yellow because I have all this green pigment on my brush right now. So I'm going to stay with the green, just work the green right now, and then I'll go back, clean my brush, and go over the yellow pigment. And what you're doing is really just getting the pigment into the tooth of the paper, you know. I'm just kind of pushing that pigment in there. And I'm purposely being kind of messy. I don't want it neat or perfect. And now I don't have very much left on my brush, but I have enough to where I'm able to blend. There we go. There. Okay, so that's kind of where we're at. Questions? I'm busy every other Tuesday. Okay, best days for me are Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, okay. Okay, so now I have all this green pigment on my brush, right? I'm gonna rinse it out. And that's what odorless mineral spirits is, actually. It's a brush cleaner, so it's not gonna hurt your brush. Okay, I got the green off. I dip it again. Pretty clean. Now I'm gonna go and do the yellow. And I'm not worried about detail here. I'm just blending. I'm just getting that pigment on the paper and blending it together. I got too much green on here. I gotta rinse it again. The green can easily take over. So you gotta watch the green. It can get muddy. But I'm gonna pick it right up. Do you see how I did that? Got a little muddy there, so I used the odorless mineral spirits and I picked it right up. So now, when this dries, I'm gonna go over it with like a nice pretty orangey yellow. Okay. There we go. And since I'm here, I don't know if I have enough pigment on there to do the, yeah, with odorless mineral spirits, you need like at least 3 layers. But this is wood, so we kind of want it streaky. Might look kind of neat. And it kind of goes up like that, just for the sake of getting this going quickly here. A quick study. We'll just do that so you can see. And then there's a really dark shadow in here. I can still see my line. My shadow line goes like that, right up. Sorry guys, I was doing this. That's all I was really doing. And we can there. And you just kind of turn it into a painting, right? There's a little green there I can get. Okay, so just having a little fun, Now the green really turned my odorless mineral spirit that color. I'm gonna dump that out and get fresh, definitely when I do the white. So just so you know, that's, like I said, you got to be careful of green. It can take over. Let me zoom this out. Okay, so any questions about the odorless mineral spirits? Use melts. Oh, great. How did you like melts? I liked melts a lot. And I think they say it's not toxic or anything like that. There's no smell to it. So I really liked melts a lot. And somebody in our color pencil group, the last meeting, they told me they saw my post on it. I was like, I don't know where to get it. You know, I've talked to the rep. I can't find it on Amazon. She said she found it at some art supply in California. Is that where you found it, Karen? How do I dispose of the OMS? So what I'll do right now is I'm going to have this paper towel. I'm going to soak it up with the paper towel. And then I'll throw away my trash. Whoops, I'll throw away my trash after. I kind of like, I put it in the trash. I don't want it like stuffed in the trash, you know, in case of that whole combustion thing, right? So I kind of lay it away from me in the trash and let it air out. And then I throw it in then I throw away my trash when I'm done. So I haven't had a problem that way doing it, but yeah, you know, I discovered this melts and I really liked it. It's a Japanese product. Yeah, it's water-based, exactly. Yes, I'm gonna find, in fact, how about we use it on the white pumpkin? I can find my pen somewhere. We can use it on the white pumpkin. It won't be as dramatic because, you know, we have such dark colors here, but I could use it on the white pumpkin and we could see how it works. Or I can use it here. Yeah, I love odorless mineral spirits, but I got a lot of watercolor pencils, Caran d'Ache watercolor pencils to use for base layers, just thinking, okay, those are probably safer. Okay, so you got the melts, yeah, on Amazon. Oh, okay. And then you have the melts pen coming soon. So you found the melts pen. Okay. Let's see if I can find my melts pen, guys. Oh, I wonder if I took it. I did. I actually took it to our meeting. I wonder if it's in my to-go bag. That's not it. That's not, no, is that it? Hold on. Oh, this is it. Woohoo, I got it. Okay, this is the Melts pen. Holbein color pen. So, oh, that's right. So it really supposedly only works with oil-based pencils and with the Holbein pencils. And I have a few Holbein pencils. That's Faber-Castell. Where are they? So these are Holbein pencils, okay? And this is the Melts pen. These are oil-based. These are really nice. These are what I did the mushrooms. If you guys see the mushrooms somewhere on my website or tutorial, I only used the three primary colors and white on my mushrooms and this, and I really enjoyed it. Now let me just see, let's just, okay, so the pen is clear. I forget what these are. I think these are polychromos. See, it's blending pretty good. This might be Derwent Light Fast, which is oil. Okay. Green. Go away, green. And then the other end is a little thicker nub that has color on there still. Let's just clean it off. Just cleaning it off. Okay, well, let me put a few more layers on the white, on the white pumpkin, and we'll see what it looks like. Now, Derwent Lightfast is supposed to be oil-based, actually. Actually, I'm going to use Cold Gray. There's just this really pretty cool blue in there. So I'm going to use that. This will blend nicely. And then I'll do Polychromos White. And we'll see how it works with the melts. Oh, it is on Blick now? That's what they said. Okay, they said Blick is going to have it. Liquid Melt on Blick. Okay, so Blick does have it. Okay. When I last looked, which is probably, I don't know, weeks, maybe a month ago, they didn't have it. But that's what they were saying. Blick was going to have it. Okay, great. Because I got mine from the rep at one of our meetings. The pencils and the blender I got from the Holbein rep. He did a demo. He's actually a watercolor artist that lives out here in Illinois, and he did a demo for us, the Color Pencil Society, and so that's how I got it. And he said, yeah, Blick will have it soon, and I kept checking and checking and checking. So that's awesome. Thank you guys so much for checking. I'm gonna get another one for sure, especially, you know, hate to bring it up. I don't want to bring up negative stuff, but being a cancer survivor, you know, it's like the last thing I want to do is breathe in chemicals, and so that's why I'm super careful. But I know they're just the odorless mineral spirits are just so easy to access, and they're great. They're easy to use, but if this works, I'm all in. Where's the, okay, I'm going back to beige red. This will blend nicely. There's a really nice light highlight right here, which I'm going to keep, because that will really, because it gets really dark down here. So then you keep this really light and this really dark. It'll really give it some beautiful contrast. Kind of the same here. There's like really light here. So I'm going to keep that little area light, but I'm going to go darker in here. And that'll give it a nice pop. And then the same here. Again, doing the values. I've got my my mid values right in here. Okay, keeping that light. I went a little dark in here, that's okay. Really light over here. I'm just gonna do a little bit more up in here and then we'll blend. I actually wanna do the polychromos white. Get some oil-based white on here and the melts should blend nicely. You can hear I'm just getting it on there. I'm being messy because I know I'm gonna blend it. And I'm turning it to keep my pencil sharp. And then I'm hurrying. So you can hear it. Oh, I'm sorry the light isn't better for you guys. It almost feels like it's gonna rain. It's just my window it's getting grayer and grayer. I'm gonna invest in some better lighting for sure. Especially with winter coming. I think I'm just so used to the bright light with summer. I didn't have to worry about it. Although we did have 70 degrees yesterday. It was amazing. You used Melt with Polychromos, Caran d'Ache, and Derwent. It worked with all of them. Awesome. Yeah, because Caran d'Ache is more waxy. Yeah. Yeah, thank you so much, Karen. What would we do without you? All right, so what would I do without you? All right, I'm just gonna clean the nib here just because we're dealing with white. I wanna feel, yeah, it's on there. It doesn't smell. I don't really smell anything. Okay. Here we go. I'm gonna start over here. And this is on Pastel Matte. I don't know if you know that, Karen, because you came in late. Wow, this is really, okay. This is really blending. Okay, I gotta wipe it off. I went a little too dark. I'm gonna stick to the white first. I'm gonna go over here where I know I have a white pigment and just blend with the white pencil so I don't get too dark. Nice. I wonder if, so I'm at an angle. I wonder if you have the pen straight up and down, it probably works a little better. It's definitely blending though. It's definitely blending. Let me just get this shadow here. Oh, that's nice. Oh, how fun. Okay, I know what I'm buying today after this live stream. I'm going right to Blix. Save me some, guys. That's pretty nice. It's pretty cool. And then, let's see, I'm gonna wipe it a little bit. See, with the liquid, we can probably just use a brush and dip in like I did with the OMS. Wow, it really, I didn't think I had that much pigment on there. It really gets dark. I wasn't expecting that. Maybe it's just mixing with the brown. Let me get some of the, oh yeah, see, isn't that pretty? That's the autumn brown from Derwent Lightfast. It's such a pretty brown. See how red, see how the red comes out? Just pretty autumn color. Even though this area is practically black, I just wanted to do the brown there. I'll probably go in here with black and some blues. But wow, amazing. Yeah, we need to get the word out there, huh? About this product. Enough OMS. Oh shoot, I'm getting some spam let me just block them real quick. Yeah. Need a moderator. Let me know if anything weird comes through, guys, that I can't see or something. I just had to block some spam. Okay. Thanks, Pam, for trying. Yeah, isn't that great? Oh my gosh. Okay, let's go back to the white. I'm going to put a little more white. Let me see. I don't think I did. Where did I do? I don't think I did right here. I'm going to do more white. So I really want the white to blend in with this pink. I want a lot of white on there. So I'm really just going to get it on there. Probably the Derwent white might actually be a little kind of more thicker consistency, because this was all Derwent and I can't get over how dark it got. So maybe the Derwent white. Where's my Derwent white? Yeah, try my Derwent white. Yeah, Derwent white definitely goes on a little thicker. This is so fun playing. I love this. I miss teaching in person too, which is why I want to do my online, memberships and weekly memberships, just because I really enjoy doing it. And if we get a big group like this, we could save the world and get everybody off of OMS. Okay, I'm being silly now. Okay. All right, there. I got plenty of white on there. So let's do... Oh, I had this open the whole time. Shoot, it didn't dry out. All right. Good, looking creamy. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it's picking up the pigment almost like paint. Now I'm going to kind of do like some little circles just to get like the texture of the gray in there. Just kind of simulate the weird lumps and stuff in the pumpkin. There we go. Nice. Yeah, I think it starts out really liquidy. I think if I were holding it straight up and down, that would help too. Because it really starts out with a lot of liquid. I can feel it. Okay, I'm gonna go darker because I know you guys probably, I don't know if you can really see what's happening because it's white, but it's really, I can kind of hardly tell, but I'm gonna go darker. And I wonder if this, oh, there we go. You can see that. Kind of fun. See, we get the pinks in there. See, it's like painting, just like the OMS. Fun. Get a little bit back there. And then, I forgot about back here. Gotta get this part. That shadow right there is really dark. Okay, I got brown on here. I gotta get my brown off. Hey, you're so welcome. Nice. Oh yeah, you saw this Bam? Yeah. Yes, I'm gonna do. Yeah, I'll order the solvent or the pot and just use a brush. This would be nice for like if you're traveling or something. The pen. But yeah, I know it's, because I work at an angle, I can tell. It's like a regular fountain pen. You know, you kind of have to shake it to get the stuff down toward the nub. Okay, cool. Well, let's let that dry. Oh wait, let me do in here. Forgot. Actually, I'll use the finer point for in here. The stem. I did a touch of green in here in the stem, and look how it just comes out. I think this is all polychromos up here. So it's all oil. Yeah, I was thinking, well, I've got to get some drawing in, you know, with all the computer work I've been doing for all the videos and online courses. I was like, well, I got to get some drawing in. And I thought, well, heck, I'm going to just do a live stream and see if anybody wants to join me. So thanks for joining me. This is fun. And I will have, you know, probably won't finish this today, but I'll finish it and have it up for a tutorial on, for the membership. Yeah, that was weird because I had, oh, sorry. That was weird because I had green in there. I don't know why I put green in there. This is a good lesson for you guys. Beware of green. Just beware of green. You don't need that much. But that's okay. It's pastel matte. It'll dry. I can go right over it with some white, yellow, the dark browns in there. And it'll be fine. It'll be fine. So let's, well, while I'm here and I got zoomed in here, I'm going to just do right here. I'm going to get this fine. Yeah, so even like if you make a mistake at, you know, you have these so many layers on, I wouldn't worry about it, especially using pastel matte, because you can really just go right over it with a lighter color and repair and fix and do whatever you want to do. That's pretty much, I think, why it's so popular with color pencil artists. You just get so many layers. It's awesome. Sometimes I get a little frustrated if I want to do some super fine detail, but for the most part, you can get some pretty good detail. And, you know, because it is paper for pastels, so it is a little rough. And usually when you want to do super fine detail, you use something like a smooth paper, like Bristol kind of smooth. And you'll definitely get fine detail. So it kind of just depends on your subject. Okay, so let's get these yellows here, oranges. Let's get rid of this green and this gourd. Driving me nuts. Okay. I'm gonna stick to polys. Let's see. I think I had the Naples yellow with, right, the dark cadmium orange. The light chrome yellow is what I was talking about earlier that will give it a really nice pop. I'm gonna do a layer of that. Actually, I think that's what I have there. Yeah. Okay, so let's go. Now, here's one thing to consider as well. And I made this mistake a lot, is what your color. Okay, I want to get like a yellowy orange, right? So I really like these two colors. Let me see. Okay. Let's see what does it look like if I do orange and then the yellow. Okay. Okay, that's the color I get. That's pretty nice. I mean, that's pretty close to the gourd. That's okay. But what if I do yellow first? And I'm pressing pretty hard for dramatic effect. And then orange. Pretty nice. What a difference, huh? See how the yellow, and I'm purposely going out of the edges so you can see what the yellow would look like. Or the orange would look like without the yellow. So see, there really is a difference between the two. Let me do that again. Yellow. I'm gonna make sure you can see it. So you always want to go kind of darker. I'm sorry, light to dark. And then the colors underneath, like the yellow, it really helps. It brightens up the color on top. It brings out the color that's on top. So if you do yellow over something to lighten it up, make sure you test it first, because it could go the opposite way. So that's kind of, it's a little orangey, but I like it. I'm gonna look real quick. Polychromos has amazing yellows and oranges. I really need to label my, could be a fun color. Let me see what this is. Oh, orange glaze. It's a little orangey. Here we go. I knew there was a color. This is that right, dark cadmium yellow. I knew like one of the cadmiums was gonna do it. So let's see what dark cadmium chrome looks like over the dark cadmium yellow. Ooh, that's pretty dark. I don't think we needed that dark. I'm gonna go with our original yellow and orange that we just did. What did I just do? Yeah, the dark cadmium yellow. Okay. So, which is the Naples yellow? Yes. Okay. Oh my God. The Naples yellow? Yes. See, this is why sometimes drawing something takes me, 5 hours when it should take 2. But this is why you want to play with your colors before you start. So hopefully I didn't lose too many viewers there, you guys. Sorry about that. Just wanted to play around. So again, we don't want to go too much into the yellow too fast, or the orange. I'm going to go over with my yellow, and I can get, see how, because this is this is a pastel matte, look at, I can go right over the green with the yellow. Isn't that cool? So I really wasn't worried too much about putting on a lot of green. Can you see that? Yeah. So I'm getting my yellow base so it's not too orangey. And then I'm gonna do a little bit here. Let's get my lines so I don't lose them. Okay, got a little highlight right there. Okay, now let's see what it looks like with fun orange. This is the dark cadmium orange. Now there's that cool little indentation I'm gonna try to simulate here. And I definitely need a darker orange on top of this one. But for right now, that's good. And then we'll get a little dark over here. And I'm squinting my eyes right now. I know I always forget to mention this, and I meant to mention this in the course, but I think the best way to really see your values and to really get your colors is to squint. And I mean, there's studies that, I mean, I've actually asked the doctor, my eye doctor, why do things look so different when I squint? So, well, it's just like looking through a tube, your eyes do something differently and blah, blah, blah. But it really does make a difference. So, I mean, you guys squint right now, look at something, anything, a picture, and squint, and it looks so different. And that's how you get your values. Also, probably in the membership, I would love to do a study on drawing upside down. I did one of those when I was in art class. I took one of my first art classes. Oh my gosh. It was so intimidating, but at the same time really liberating because once you do it, and it's really about tricking your brain. It's all about, you don't want your brain. Your eyes will see something different than your brain. Your brain sees something different than your eyes. You see a pumpkin, okay, you see a pumpkin, but if you turn it upside down, you're gonna see something totally different. Okay, so I'm actually, because we're gonna wrap, well, we got time, but I really want the contrast and the dramatic effect of the dark shadow here, so I'm going in right with black because this will change the color of the oranges and all that sort of thing. So you really want to get your values in, because now with this dark color here, my brights are going to look brighter. My lights are going to look lighter. So instead of stressing over making something lighter, oh my God, it's not light enough, it's like, well, go in and darken everything up, make sure everything is as dark as it needs to be, and then go in and lighten up whatever it is, you need to lighten up. And I wish I could find my nightshade. I don't want to spend time looking for it. I'm sure it's in one of my piles of pencils here somewhere. So I'm just using black for right now. Just to get the dramatic effect I want you guys to see. And actually the pumpkin has, I'm going to just use brown under here. Actually I'm going to use burnt umber, because the pumpkin is in shadow here. It's like a deep orangey shadow. There we go. And then it has some funky little, yeah, I'm gonna go back to black. See, this is pastel matte. Takes a million layers. I'm gonna go and just make some little crazy lines and just irregularities here, like a pumpkin is. And then I have this dark green here that I'm gonna do. Oh, here's my nightshade. Love it. Nightshade is, you can see it's kind of like a purpley black. It's just beautiful. It's the Derwent Lightfast. And when you add black to it, it's so pretty. It's not a matte black. See, it's like here's matte black, and then here's nightshade underneath. Oh my gosh, it's just a beautiful, deep, rich black. So I did black first. Oh, we'll see what happens. Now I'm gonna do nightshade over it. Now it's gonna get really dark. This is what I wanted. Oh, nice. And this purple has a red in it, so it's cutting this green, right? So now it's not looking so greeny. Yeah, I found out the hard way. I have a painting that I did, and I was doing acrylics in our lot. We have a lot of trees on our lot, and so I, wanted to paint our house and our front yard with our chickens and everything. And oh my gosh, I'm doing the trees, and all of a sudden the entire painting just became green, just green, 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 green everywhere. And I realized a big lesson that I talked to, an artist, a longtime artist friend, that, oh yeah, green takes over right away. So you gotta really be careful of green. Green can take over your painting in seconds. So this is really good. Now I'm gonna do, I like these little highlights. I've got white here. I'm just gonna go, remember those highlights that I was trying to save earlier? I kind of have them here. I'm gonna do white, and then I'm gonna do a little blue over them. And this one over here is like kind of a purpley one, so I'm gonna do white first, and then I'm gonna go over it with like a blue, really light blue purple. And that will cut the green too. Okay. I'm going to use the pen on the nightshade and see what happens there. Are we all good? Okay. Doing good. You guys see, it's a nice close up, you guys can see. So there's black, and then there's the nightshade, and they're both oil base. Nice. I really want to get down here and smooth that out, because you can see it's a little gritty, and that's the roughness of the paper. You can see the ridges there. I want to get it in the tooth. Okay, and I want this dark. Definitely looking like a Halloween pumpkin now. Looking pretty cool. Pretty scary. Yeah, this is really nice using this fine point. Now I'm getting the dark right next to my white, my light, even though it's not really that light. But once I put the dark right next to it, bam, the white is gonna pop, that highlight will pop. Okay, great. Well, I'm so excited that Blick has the Holbein, the melts now. We'll have to spread the word. And then let me just do, this was black. Yeah, see, I need to shake it out, I think. Let me use the other end. Oh, that's beautiful. Look at that. The oil base, the polychromos. It does really work well with the polychromos. The oil base, so that's great. And the white pumpkin looks good. Seems to dry quickly too. I mean, you can probably just go right over it. You know, let it dry just for a minute. Go right over it. You guys doing? We got a few people, a few stragglers left. Thanks for hanging in there. I got a lot of black on this nib. I don't know if I want to go over that orange. There we go. I think I cleaned it off. There we go. Nice. Yeah, so I'd probably do another layer of that really bright orange and yellow. Let's see how fast we can go over the melts, because this really got dark. We want to get our highlights in here. Yeah, nice. Okay, and a little darker. You add a little yellow here. Yeah, I think the blender would work better with, like I said, it's like a pen. I kept having to shake it. I think because when I first use it, put it on there, it looks really amazing, but then it kind of poops out on me. So I think that's just because I'm holding it upright. I'm going to do a little gray over the white here. Get these highlights to pop. A little blue gray. Right here. Now this is pretty rushed and we were kind of experimenting, but yeah, I probably would have preserved a little bit more of the yellow, but the green took over on me. Let's get more orange in here. I think maybe I'm gonna go with like a waxy orange Caran d'Ache Luminance. Let me pull out a little. Caran d'Ache Luminance. That will, there we go. That's kind of what it needed. So for the final layers, you pretty much want to go with your wax because they really stick on there. And then we'll get a Caran d'Ache yellow. Let's see what I have for Caran d'Ache yellow. Oh, I think I have that lemon yellow. Bismuth yellow, that's a good one. Nice bright one. Yeah. Good. Pressing hard, and it's taking it. So that's a great thing about Caran d'Ache. You can pretty much do it at the end of almost anything. Yeah, it's kind of fun. Let me get more orange. we go. Gotta love pastel matte. Layer after layer after layer. Okay. I think that's good for now. I could sit here and probably work on that one for another hour. And then here we have the white. I think I would next, we're kind of running out of time here, but what I'm gonna do next is the wood, because the pumpkin will look a lot darker. I'm sorry, the pumpkin will look a lot lighter when we've got the wood, the dark colors, the dark values of the wood here. The pumpkin will look a lot whiter. It'll be bright. See how if you have a dark color right next to it, it'll look super white. It'll look really pretty. So we have like some darker values there, and then even the here's the burnt sienna, which is definitely in there, so that will look really pretty. See how put it next to the white, it looks really white, and then you take it away. Big difference, huh? So these are the colors that will be underneath it, and it'll look really pretty. And also what I'll do in the tutorial is I want to do the berries, and I was going to blend them to make them look really blurry. Well, what we'll do is we'll do our lighter color first. So we'll do the light chrome yellow, like say we'll just do this one, and we want it blurry because we don't want it in focus. We have two, we have like two, and then one, and a bigger one. And then I'll add just a touch of the orange. And you want to kind of keep it the same orange that you're using throughout, the drawing, just so it's not too kind of crazy colors, different colors here, different colors there. It just kind of stays uniform with the same oranges and yellows. So then these, and I'll use the melts, you want to keep them nice and blurry. No hard edges. It's kind of like that. And then I'll do just a little green around them. And then there's like one kind of close. And then you have different, so you have some that are really light, and then you have some that are really dark. And you have some that you can see the little black, I don't know, what do you call the spot in there? Some you can't. Some you can only see half, some you can see full. So I'm just using the brush, pen. And some are bigger, some are smaller. But definitely make them, some are lighter and some are darker. But they're all pretty blurry. Maybe just a few are less blurry than the other ones. The ones that are closer to you are less blurry than the ones back here. Like the ones back here really should be lighter because you don't want them in focus. You want the ones up here darker because they're the ones that are going to be more in focus. So these, I'll lighten those up when they dry, but these you want darker, and then some over here. So I'll finish this up and I will make it probably one of the first tutorials of the membership that is launching on the 1st. So I'll send y'all an email about that, and you'll get this tutorial. You'll have 4 tutorials a month. Once a week we'll do tutorial. We will do live Zoom. Members will do Zoom classes, so we kind of have more personalized teaching, questions and answers. Just basically I want to create a community, and So that's what it's going to be. You'll get all kinds of the line art. You'll get your reference photos. You'll get the newsletter with all kinds of tips. Of course, everything that I get my hands on as far with the colored pencils, as far as being the president of the Colored Pencil Society, the Chicago chapter, I get all kinds of new stuff. So you will definitely get all that info too, like this Melts pen that we're all in love with. Well, I am. So anyway, guys, I'm trying not to say so many times. I'm trying to train myself. But Karen, thank you. You're a rock star. Thank you so much for chiming in and being here today. I really, really appreciate it. I will invest in some better lighting. I don't, I would appreciate feedback, and because I only want this to be great for you guys. I'm here for you guys. So I will invest in some better lighting now that winter's coming. And I'm going to sign out now, and I'll see you guys hopefully next week. I will send an email out on Monday with all the information, and we will settle on some dates. I have a feeling it'll be next Saturday. It'll just maybe be easier for people Saturday morning or Tuesday night. I'm going to feel it out at first. And I'll be around and playing around, so we'll be doing lots and lots of studies and drawing. So, okay. Thank you so much, Karen and Pam and everybody that's here hanging in with me at the last minute. I appreciate it. And, okay, bye, guys.